Who was the first hero in world history? Hercules, Achilles, or perhaps Thor? In fact, thousands of years before all of these heroes, people were already telling the story of another one. His name was Gilgamesh. Clay tablets written about 4,000 years ago speak of an extraordinary king who ruled a city called Uruk, a warrior said to be half divine, a ruler who fought monsters, and eventually a human being searching for immortality. But here an important question appears. Was Gilgamesh a real king who once lived? Or was this story the first great legend ever created by humanity? To understand this story, we need to go back about 4,600 years. To Mesopotamia. In the lands of present-day Iraq, between the Euphrates River and the Tigris River, a civilization was emerging. The Sumerians, a society that invented writing, built city-states, and became one of the earliest civilizations in human history. And one of their greatest cities, Uruk. Uruk was not just a large city. By the standards of its time, it was enormous. It was surrounded by towering walls. Its temples rose toward the sky, and at the head of this city, there was a king famous for his power, Gilgamesh.
Will conquer immortality.
Sumerian's tablets do not describe Gilgamesh as an ordinary ruler. About him, they write, 2/3 God, 1/3 human. Because of this, his strength was considered legendary. It is said that he built the great walls of Uruk. In battle, he was said to be unstoppable. But this power was not a source of safety for the people. It was a source of fear. For Gilgamesh was known not only for his strength, but also for his lack of restraint. The tablets describe how the people of Uruk cried out to the gods, "Deliver us from this king." According to Sumerian mythology, the gods heard these pleas, and they decided to create a being who could balance Gilgamesh. A man shaped from clay, raised in the wild, living among animals, a wild human. His name was Enkidu. Enkidu had grown up outside civilization. He did not know cities. He did not know rules, but he carried the raw power of nature, and his destiny would lead him to Uruk. Enkidu finally challenged Gilgamesh. The two giants stood face to face in the city square. Legends describe this fight in dramatic terms. The streets trembled, the gates shook, the ground cracked. But at the end of the fight, something unexpected happened. Instead of destroying each other, they understood each other, and hostility turned into friendship. Gilgamesh and Enkidu soon became an inseparable pair. Together, they set out on great adventures. They traveled to the cedar forest and killed the giant Humbaba. They defeated the bull of heaven sent by the gods. Together, the two of them were almost unbeatable. But these victories did not please the gods, because two humans were challenging the gods themselves. And this would have a price. A short break here. If you subscribe, these two men you get the idea. The gods made a decision. This challenge had to be punished. And the punishment was Enkidu. Enkidu fell ill. For days he suffered, and in the end, he died. This event became a turning point for Gilgamesh, because for the first time, he faced an unavoidable truth, death. And in that moment, only one question remained in his mind. Will I, one day, die as well? This question is one of the oldest questions in human history. If death is inevitable, what is the meaning of human life? Gilgamesh decided to find the answer to this question, and he set out on an impossible journey. His goal was clear: to find immortality. According to the legends, Gilgamesh set out on a journey toward the edge of the world. His goal was to find the only man who had survived the Great Flood, Utnapishtim. According to Sumerian mythology, the gods had sent a great flood, but Utnapishtim had survived, and the gods had given him immortality. And this was Gilgamesh's hope. This journey was not easy. Gilgamesh crossed deserts. He climbed mountains. He walked through dark tunnels. And in the end, he reached Utnapishtim. And he asked him only one question. Tell me the secret of immortality. Utnapishtim gave Gilgamesh a test. If he could endure for 6 days and 7 nights without sleeping, he would gain immortality. But Gilgamesh fell asleep. This test was not a simple trial. It revealed a fundamental truth about human nature. Human beings are limited, and death is inevitable. Even so, Utnapishtim shared a secret with Gilgamesh. At the bottom of the sea, there was a plant that could restore youth. Gilgamesh found this plant, and he set out on the road back to Uruk. But during the journey, when he stopped to rest, a snake appeared. It took the plant and disappeared. And with that, Gilgamesh's last hope was gone. Gilgamesh finally returned to Uruk. Throughout his journey, he had learned something important. Human beings are not immortal, but the things they create can live on. He looked at the great walls of Uruk. He looked at his city, and he realized that what makes a person immortal is not eternal life. It is what they leave behind.
Burada küçük ama güzel bir topluluk inşa ediyorum. Bize katılmak istersen abone olabilirsin.